The point is, though, I'm here and it's like I have the car. Should I wait here? Should I try to get a little car this summer, convert a little car over and drive it up and just do this all? What kind of a trail am I putting in this moment? There's so many bad trails out there. Is the point, And if you don't really look at it, it's like we all, in some way, are following the paths and influences of people that came before us. And, we read a book, we spend some time with someone, you begin to take on their traits, you begin to, some of the things they point out, their observations, you incorporate them to your ways of thinking. And, there's so many bad trails out there. I don't want, you don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be Hugh Neff with the Dog Mushing radio show. I don't want to be Cory Booker with the radio show. I'm a fantastic writer. When you write at that level, it's almost like God speaking with you and through you, and you know so many things. All things are one. It takes so much out of you, it can kill you. And I'm not trying to go that route. I appreciate the understanding that I've gathered and garnered from entering into the language and the hip hop thing. But on the other hand, I don't want to be here stuck in Vermont, losing this pizza delivery job, working at a gas station, or doing another pizza delivery job, having there's no future here. I'm an Alaskan artist. I'm an Alaskan. I've been there for 12, 13 years. I also have pride in my main roots, though, and that's what I wanted to touch on and get into here, is that but I want to mention really is the fact that my brother's trying to get this job doing writing for LL Bean with their marketing. He lives right there, and I'm kind of told by my dad or whatever, not to go there. I went in there to their big press conference or whatever it is, thinking I might be able to mention some sort of, with the one dog class, maybe they could sponsor or support, trying to maybe get the idea of using a carrot as like a hybrid car or something, and all these different ideas anyway. But LL Bean back in the day is the point. It's like dude going around fixing people's shoes, and nowadays it's like all these outdoor recreation yahoos working there and working a 9 to 5, and it's it's the entrepreneurial energy versus the corporate energy you have now, and it's the evolution of the company. And again, it's a couple generations. It's not unlike how we're talking about what's happened with the evolution of dog mushing, the evolution of how you used to be able to just buy land cheap and go build a cab and do it yourself and that kind of shit. Nowadays, everyone's specialization, the big development, what's happening all over the world, and there's got to be a way to just sort of put brakes on this and teach people to have some respect for the wilderness and have some respect for humanity and each other and cross the cultural lines and make something that can be in any part of the planet. And someone can just rescue a dog and try to build a house, or groups of people can do this, and other people are knocking on the door with this. You get Spartan Race, and they have a race, and they all get together and build a house for someone in need. There's Habitat for Humanity. There's big yoga groups who do similar things to this. Nonprofit yoga groups get a bunch of yogis together. They go to a yoga sort of retreat, but they also build they build a house, or they do something philanthropic. And there's lots of energy. CrossFit New England. I was just reading about how they just they go to Africa or something and do something similar to this. Get a bunch of people together, build a house, and trying to connect this fitness, this sense of health industries, because our health depends upon other people being happy and having a place to stay and having opportunities. Our collective health, the oneness of civilization, of humanity. If someone's got all kinds of money and they're going to the gym and they're driving their fancy car around, and someone else is really unhealthy and only eating at the gas station and working at the gas station, and they're the ones who fix the car, or they're the ones who the service industries, whatever it is, it's just the oneness of civilization. Those people need to be given the same opportunities. And on the other hand, if it's just the specialization, the people who are, you need to be able to fix your own car, you need to build your own house, you need to be able to get your own food and know that all that shit's done right, and have that independence, be able to have that self-reliance. A little specialization is good, but that's the best of Alaska. And that's what we're trying to do with this one dog class. But the point is, it's like my brother's getting this job at LL Bean, potentially, or applying for it. It's be a good job for him. And he's got the great resume, though. He went to the college. He got a big scholarship or whatever it is to get his master's program, the best place in the country. He's probably a good writer, and he's got sort of a thing he's developed down here, literary magazine or whatever. He's a little it's like I'm not published doing anything, but I got like the Holy Grail in this 1,000-page book, and it's like, I'm afraid for myself, afraid for civilization here almost. You know what I mean? It's just this moment where my brother's getting the job at LL Beans, and it's just like Dallas got the job with Iditarod, and here we got Danny and Terrell off in the tropics in Hawaii and Florida in hot tubs with girls on the beach. They're almost paid by their dad and the dad's company to get the fuck out of there and let the other kid have the job at the big local company. And it's kind of like me. I'm almost get away from LOB and don't go over there and ask for them for anything. Your brother might lose his job, and it's like. Or the job he's going to get. It's the same sort of, and that analogy is something that really lets me see it again and put myself in the shoes, of how there's so much politics and shit going on here, and that's not what it should be like. And it's just emblematic, me and my brother here, because I don't have the good resume. I worked all these other jobs as a firefighter, as a log builder, as a dog musher, pizza delivery, and just millions of jobs. Honestly, and my resume is a nightmare long, but the point is. The point I want to get at is, I don't have a college degree in writing or anything, and it's just emblematic of how, these things work, but I've all these other life skills and everything, and I'm not saying he's not a good fit for the job, but it's like, I drive a motorcycle down from Alaska, and just listen to this conversation, it's like, who's the best one suited, and there's issues with our education, our qualifications for all this shit, and again, it connects to the dog mushing. It's like Rowan wins the Cusco and the Connect 200. All these handlers over the years have trained those yearling teams and worked there, and none of them can even financially, economically support a kennel. And somehow, it's just mind-boggling to me that the system is resulted like this, and people, this access to opportunity here. This is about being someone's son, and this is about going through the right path. This isn't about being the best at something, and I think we need to restore that sense of true competition for a position. In any aspect. It doesn't just have to be about dog mushing, but the one dog class. We're definitely reaching towards that philanthropy, that doing meaningful shit, that giving back, that self-reliance, that taste of truth and beauty, and the male and the female working together, harmony, love, wilderness, stars in the sky, wood smoke, renewable energy, wind turbines flashing, entrepreneurial bootstrapping. Can someone make their own mucklucks? CrossFit selling all this Reebok shit. It's like, go to the fucking thrift store and get a pair of shoes. You know what I mean? Like, I was just talking to this chick, whatever the fuck. I email Steger Mucklucks, and it's like, that's another one I could go into. I'm not going to do it right now. Steger Mucklucks, they don't get back to me. Can you teach me to make mucklucks? It's like there's people, Northwoods Ways, they teach people to, go on, they do wilderness expeditions or whatever on foot in New England and in Canada around here, and they have got a muckluck kit or whatever, and I'm like, can you teach me to make mucklucks if I drive up there? And they're like, well, we're kind of busy, you can stop by, but we're not ready for that. I'm like, I'll be back in 2 months. I'm going to go to Alaska and try to save the fucking universe. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's kind of like my parents too. They're not that much different than my parents. My parents have a lot of knowledge, here. And it's like, I'm gonna go save the fucking universe. This is what it feels like. But can I make my mucklucks? Do I need to stay here and learn how to make mucklucks first? But it's not like I'm running a fucking craft show. At some point, you just got to try to accomplish some shit. I know deep down inside, the better thing to do to lead is to make a pair of mucklucks, is to convert an electric car over, to convert a car to biodiesel. The point is, there's almost no way. The point, I'm not making 20, 30 grand like I was back in the day, doing wildfire or managing a glacier tour company or blah, blah, blah in the summer. I'm not going to be able to afford to get a vehicle working for minimum wage as a pizza delivery guy or whatever I'm doing here. I might be able to launch a company or something here, but honestly, the politics of trying to launch and organize a business or a company, provide people with insurance and all this, if I do that, I'm going to need, there's a ripe area around here in Vermont for this. The ecosystem is there, but to have all the parts in place, for me at this point, it's sort of unlikely that's going to come together. I got an opportunity here a couple months. I drove out to Wolf Neck State Park in Maine by Ella Beans, and I did a video about this earlier. It's one day, there's no one there. It's me and my dog. It's this poetry, this beauty, in touch with the natural world. And I love that, and that's what I love about Alaska too. But the next day, there's all these people. There's a snowstorm. All the kids are out snowshoeing and skiing. And it's sort of like Iditarod. You see all the people up there. There's an opportunity to sort of rally people, all that energy, all those people. They can work together. They can go and build a house for someone in need. They can volunteer. There's positive aspects about getting people in the outdoors. You go out. I paddle down the Yukon River or whatever. No one's out there. You're not going to rally people to do shit. But if everyone's up there in Iditarod time, running around like yahoos, and volunteers and all this shit, there's an opportunity to get the word out. There's an opportunity to get the word out and to begin to rally some support about this thing. And I sent press releases to those Anchorage reporters like a year ago, and And the fact that, those people are, I'm not even going to go into it. Those people someday might get featured by me on my media. I'm not playing politics with reporters in Anchorage. I don't care who they are, or in Fairbanks or any of these people. I'm going to be bigger than all those news channels. And that's our philosophy here. Our philosophy is the bigger picture. The bigger picture. We're not, we don't need to highlight a musher. We're trying to highlight a way of life that mushing was meant to preserve. And that's the essence of what we're trying to do here. And it's the symbolism. It's the harmony of nature. We're going to go back in time. We're going to fix this thing. Because like Joe Reddington Sr., when he started Iditarod stuff, it was about trying to preserve working with dogs in the villages and stuff. It wasn't about trying to have a guy from California like Jeff King come here and sort of, and become and develop this thing, just like he's developing a subdivision, develop the breeding and everything and the tourist business. A guy from California or a guy from Europe like Martin Boozer or Susan Butcher from Massachusetts, or that wasn't the intent to have this to be about money. I don't think anyway. I mean, and I'm not saying it is all about money. There's Lance Mackey. There's other. I'm not trying to tear down the beauty of the whole thing, the beauty of the sport. And like I said, I'm trying to make something that will coexist with the sport. But again,